it in
It's
focus?
day 2.
Might not be in focus. Is it in focus?
It's in focus.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's focused.
It probably isn't, but okay.
What? Oh, yes. Good old Texas. There it is.
Alright, so we are looking at another rainy day here. As you can see, it's pretty cloudy and it's supposed to be really severe thunderstorms, I think, around here.
Yeah.
But I think we'll drive out of it in a couple hours.
Hopefully it won't be terrible.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool last night.
So, speaking of rain and bad weather, thinking about that hurricane in Miami last year. There was no food in the stores. School got canceled for 3 days. In October or something last year.
Yeah, I mean...
It come in Miami, and I'd never... I mean, maybe if you're watching this, maybe this is normal for you, but for me, that's definitely not normal. And my roommates just stayed and tried to... we were prepared to leave, though, if it got bad. We're pretty close to the water, too, so if it came directly on us, it would have been bad. But, like, I've never seen a city so quiet, like, on the day of a storm. You hear the wind. Like, really eerie, yeah. It's like exactly...
It's beautiful and eerie way.
It's
like this air of nothingness.
Like, you don't even hear... There's no wind, really. It was just, like, quiet, but you just, like... It's very pretty.
Oh, yes.
So we made it to OKC, but we were recommended to go to this restaurant
But it's
by my old band director Travis Party to this place called Leo's, but it is closed on Sunday, and a lot of their stuff is closed on Sunday, which makes sense. So we're gonna have to be really basic and go to Buffalo Wild Wings.
They're all closed.
Yeah, they're all closed, and then they're like gonna close at 3 o'clock, and it's already like 2:40 right now. Alright, so we're now in Arkansas. Arkansas. I missed the sign again. I've missed every single sign, so
Terrible.
you don't even know for sure if we're here. We're on our way to Little Rock. We're like 2 hours away, I think.
Yeah.
Or so. And maybe we'll make a stop there and then keep going to Memphis. So we have something to talk about today, and that is both composers, arrangers, copyists. We can talk about how we got into that, starting with you, Jorge. I mean, you went to an arts high school. My glasses are kind of crooked.
Los Vegas Academy. It's a good school. What?
I can't tell if my glasses look crooked. So you went to an arts high school in Las Vegas. Did they encourage you to write music there?
Yeah, they encourage us to do basically anything that we want that was creative and that involved the student.
Your first piece of music, or maybe you did an arrangement or something?
Well, the first time I was interested or anything like that, I was a junior in high school, and I actually did write my first tune in high school. It wasn't anything too special, but it was something that I did because I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So I think that was probably like, I mean, I didn't know yet that I wanted to be a composer, but I definitely had like an inkling for wanting to write and create music. I was taking lessons from a very well-known trumpet player and composer in local area of Las Vegas. His name is Walter Blanton. He unfortunately passed away, but through him I learned through a lot of creativity, especially free form, where when improvising he just told me to be free and to kind of let my imagination do its thing, just like with writing, you know, just write whatever you want, have no limitations, just do whatever you want, basically.
So what were some of the first things you did?
Well, after my junior year, I really was getting, you know, more inclined to I just wanted to play trumpet, that's it. it wasn't until my freshman, sophomore year where I'm like, I was getting a little bit more interested because I started having ideas of writing certain pieces for trumpet and piano, and that was that, and but overall I just wanted to be a trumpet player, just jazz. But then like you and Jason start writing all these different things. I'm like, oh man, these guys are really cool, and they're writing all this stuff. I want to do that too. And it was actually because of you guys that like really started to spark that plug, because I saw you guys doing it and it really inspired me.
Super nice of you to say. I mean, I feel the same way about when I started. Had a good director who liked jazz and just a good musician, a vocalist and a saxophonist. Taught me a lot, but he encouraged me to do a bunch of different stuff. I started playing piano and more when I was a senior, and I practiced playing chords and learning jazz songs on piano. For some reason, I felt inclined to do that. And I can't remember why. I think maybe somebody told me I need to learn them on piano. I don't quite remember a moment.
You got pretty
remember I was playing a lot of songs, just like I need to know how to play them on the piano. I always had played piano though, but not reading. Like I just played by ear or by YouTube. I think my freshman year I did an arrangement for Latin Ensemble of Morning by Claire Fisher. I studied Bach a lot in school, or just on my own while I was in school.
Yeah.
But going back to when we were talking about what we first wrote, I think I had written some stuff in the theory class for maybe like a string quartet. Might have been one of my first things I did too. Being able to, I think before I got to college, I had some knowledge of music theory, but I never really learned basic classical harmony in a setting, in a classroom, or like from a teacher. And just listening a lot and just trying to figure out things in my head, And we're driving right now, and we don't have a chance to play our instrument or play piano or anything. We're just listening to music and
just trying to figure it out.
Just hearing it, Like, what is it? Oh, okay, it's this. Well, we can use it later. It's just practice. Bar for 10 hours isn't that unproductive.
Oh, but you can make it productive.
See, so you started writing big band charts and original music as well.
Yeah, original.
What's your process when you're writing a new tune?
I just sit down and I just try to wait for something to happen. Really, that's what I do. And then when something happens, or maybe I have to meet a deadline, and maybe someone is asking me to write a piece for them, and they want a Latin style, or they want like a jazz waltz or something. So I have to just think of whatever I can of that style. When I finally do know what I'm going to do, like let's say an arrangement, I have a lead sheet of the tune, and then I try to reharmonize it just by writing out the chords on the lead sheet, seeing how I want the tune to go. Then after that, I'll just grab a kind of score paper or something, and I'll graph the piece. I'll say I want an introduction here. I want the head to start here. I want a shout chorus or solo section here. Shout solely, head out. And then I choose my orchestration. Well, what kind of feel do I want? Do I want sax to play the solo? Do I want a trombone, horn? What is it that I want there?
Let's go back to you talking about the original. Like, you're doing an original.
Okay.
So are you sitting at the piano, or are you hearing it, or are you playing on trumpet, or?
So it depends what I'm doing at the time. Like right now, I don't have a piano. My trumpet's in the back. I don't have anything to play anything with. So I just grab my phone, and if I'm feeling something, then I just record it on my phone, and I'll go back to a piano and try to figure out what I did.
Okay, yeah. So you said you wait for an idea to come to you. I mean, do you hear a melody, or do you hear a bass line, or a rhythm, or what?
Sometimes I'll hear the backgrounds first. It's really weird. Like I wouldn't really hear a melody. I'll just hear like a background figure that'll happen.
So are you hearing harmony, or are you hearing instrumentation, or?
So yeah. So I'm hearing instrumentation and harmony. That gives me the overall vibe of the piece.
So for you, what you said earlier, you're influenced a lot by classical music. Shouldn't have choice is going to be of a large orchestration.
Yeah, so what I like to do a lot of are large works, so large orchestrations. I like to incorporate a lot of doubling into the jazz idiom, like flutes, which I guess is now standardized. But, you know, something that's not as standardized is like third string music, like adding violins and adding a harp and just making the whole thing work together.
So I see what you're saying. I mean, gaining ideas from orchestration ideas can actually help push melodic content and harmony and rhythmic content. You know, if you hear, like, for instance, okay, I want to do a chart that uses doubles. I hear Gil Evans doubles or something, like, so I hear that sound in my head. That automatically puts a type of harmony also in my head.
It's like if I'm gonna have like really intense harmony and I want a really strong section, I'm not gonna put flutes playing like sustaining chords. I'm gonna put like brass, like, and give it this intensity, and then I can add like strings, adding some kind of intense line behind that, or saxophones, or some high brass.
Lately, I've just been writing more like a lead sheet type of tune.
And that's really great too. I need to start doing that as well. Like, I think that if I had a lead sheet format, then I could definitely simplify it, my tunes, and be able to work as a condensed score.
From what I developed when you have to produce a lot of material is to write a sort of piano score or lead sheet before you start orchestrating, because it just, I mean, you can have the idea and you can kind of do a little bit, but, you know, having that lead sheet and just the form all laid out, it's basically then all you do is you just fill in the dots.
Larger scale works can get really overwhelming. Carlos, what's your writing process?
Well, it depends what I'm trying to write. Like, I write so many different types of music, although it all roots in jazz, I guess.
You've been writing some big band charts, haven't you? In fact, you won that competition.
Yeah, I wrote two big band charts for class in the style of Thad Jones. So we studied a lot of his work in each section and how they function. You know, the sax section, trumpets, trombones. Listened to a lot of his stuff in class and basically tried to recreate it. You know, and I wrote a chart that was a contrafact of the standard. Yeah, first chart for that class, and then I did an arrangement of Skylark by Hoagy Carmichael. It was supposed to be in the style of Gil Evans. Chordless rhythm sections, so no piano or guitar, and 2 French horns and all woodwinds. Feature a soloist. That was the assignment. So basically, yeah, that was an arrangement of Skylark that I actually might upload that to my channel. I felt pretty good about that. I've been kind of just lately just creating different loops and then trying to turn those into songs. There'd be a couple sections or just one section, and then I kind of expand on it. Usually once I get going with one idea, I can execute it all the way. And it's like, if I have one really strong idea, then I feel good about the song and I feel like I can all the way with it and finish it. Sometimes I'll change what I have. Sometimes I'll record something and think like, oh, I wish I would have done something else there. But I don't know, I try to just trust myself in the moment. I'll write it in finale usually, come back to it and keep expanding on it. That's the fastest way for me. Yeah.
So, writing it out by hand or finale?
Neither. Writing by hand, personally, doesn't make any sense at this point. I don't think it matters what you do as long as the music comes out good, but if you're trying to be an actual working, productive composer now, there's no way that writing by hand, it depends what you're doing. I mean, if you're our age and you need to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Like, you just can't.
I mean, someone like John Williams, for example, he writes all his scores by hand.
I really don't think it matters what you do. That's just how it was when he was doing it.
Nope.
I'm influenced by electronic music and sequenced music. So on a computer, I feel like that's part of the space I'm in. You're writing songs about nature. Why would you write on a computer? You feel completely out of your element. If you're writing about nature, about trees, the sky, whatever, of course, sit with your wood piano by yourself with paper and a pencil made from a wood tree. You're in. No, but I'm being serious.
Yeah,
like you're in.
It just sounds funny the way
you're in that space, and you might write something better for that type of environment.
Yeah, it's the atmosphere you're building around yourself to write. I mean, those are just some really kind of semi-advanced concepts if you don't know how to actually compose.
Right.
Like if you don't really know how to compose.
These are a bit abstract.
It doesn't really matter where you find your medium to write down or hear what you want to write. So
this is day 2, and we're talking about composing and arranging
with Carlos Mata.
with Carlos and Jorge. So we decided to stop in Memphis. We are in the hotel now. Thinking about heading to Beale Street. Beale? Is that what it is? Beale Street? We're pretty tired, but I guess it's Elvis week, so they're having a bunch of live music downtown. We're probably going to go check out, although we've been driving a lot. So I might rest for a minute. It's already 10:30 though. Apparently there's a lot going on tonight, so we're going to go check that out.